Hey everyone. Hope you're all doing great. Welcome back to the Anime Fictions 2.0. Today, we're diving into What If Naruto Affair with Akeno and Koneko. Part 2. If you're loving these alternate timelines, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more awesome content. Share it with your friends, enjoy the ride together, and don't forget to check out the other videos on the channel. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I always love hearing your ideas. Alright, enough talk, let's jump straight into part 2 of this epic story. Chapter 5 Fallen Angels. Naruto sat upon a bench in the town's local park, fiddling with a strange device in his hand. The fountain gushed water from behind him. Akeno sat with him, slowly explaining to him what said device was. Naruto looked the little object in his hand over with fascination. He turned it over in his hand. So this is a cell phone? Akeno smiled and nodded. Yes, this is a communications device that lets you speak to anyone who also has a cell phone with them, or a home phone. She explained. Naruto twirled it in his hand. How does it work? She smiled coyly. The actual process that it uses is complicated and isn't necessary for you to know. Naruto narrowed his eyes comically. I think she just called me an idiot. The ebony-haired beauty ignored his gaze and took out her own cell phone, a normal black flip phone with purple accents. After flipping it open, the screen lit up. Let me see your phone for a moment. He handed over his phone, an orange flip phone with a spiral insignia on the back, to Akeno. She flipped through his phone's menus for several moments. When she finished, she closed the lid and handed it back to Naruto. Ufufu. I recorded your number to my phone and I made sure to add my number and Rias to your phone, she explained. She then opened her phone and navigated through several menus. Now watch what I do, she told him before she turned her phone towards the blonde. She went through the process of selecting a contact for him. Hovering over the contact listed Naruto, she clicked the button. Several seconds later, Naruto's phone rang. He stared at it in wonder as it vibrated in his palm. An annoying ringing noise sounded from its tiny speaker. Now what? Akeno laughed lightly. Open it up, and put the top to your ear. Ufufu, she instructed. After doing so, Akeno stood and moved back several meters. Can you hear me, Naruto-kun? She said through the speaker. Naruto's face brightened. That's cool. I can hear you perfectly. It's like a radio, he exclaimed. Akeno smiled. She closed her phone and sat back down. Now we can contact each other if something happens. She smiled coyly. Now we're never more than a phone call away, if you want to get together. She licked her lips sensually. Naruto was oblivious as he fiddled with his new toy. Definitely Akeno-chan. This is definitely cool to bail. Akeno pouted faintly as he failed to take the bait. Naruto closed the phone and leaned back. He put his hands behind his head and relaxed into the seat. It was nice of Rias-chan to pay me for that fight against Gungar. Still, isn't 60,000 yen too much? He wasn't really that strong. Ufufu, most of it went towards that phone of yours though. Also, I think it's apt payment for making sure I wasn't scathed. She put a hand to her cheek. I just felt so protected when you saved me. I think I'm in love, she teased. Naruto blushed. I mean, he stuttered. Akeno giggled. You're still an easy target, Naruto-kun. Naruto stayed quiet with his cheeks flushed. That was something else. I'll have to remember that, he mused. Akeno stood up. Ufufu. I'd love to keep teasing you, but Rias is expecting me. Naruto looked up towards her. Alright, Akeno-chan, I'll see you later. I gotta go meet up with IC anyways. Era, you've been spending a lot of time with IC-kun. Are you doing something naughty? Naruto blanched. Not you too, Akeno-chan. No, he was going to take me to this place with a whole bunch of games and stuff. He was really excited about it too. Ufufu, alright then. Have fun, Naruto-kun. She waved as she walked away. Naruto watched her go before he stood up. I hate to lie to you, Akeno-chan, but this is so Kiba doesn't wind up like Sasuke did. He murmured to himself. He glanced around the park and nodded. Alright. Time to go. He vanished in a swirl of leaves. Naruto sat down comfortably on Ise's bed. He glanced around Ise's room with curiosity. Almost immediately, he spotted where the brunette male kept his dirty magazines. On the bookshelf, third book from the left, was a small space accessible only from a single direction. Naruto's sweat dropped. Ero-sennin rubbed off on me more than I thought. Koneko, who was sitting in a chair that Ice provided, also glared at that same spot. It seemed she had a sixth sense when it came to things perverted in nature, at least when it came to the ultimate pervert. Jiraiya would have been proud of the brunette. Saji and Kiba were there as well, standing near the wall adjacent to Naruto. Asia had left the house earlier with her senpais. According to Ic, Rias and Akeno took Asia out for some fun to help cheer her up after her encounter with the Excalibur duo. Icy stood by his desk and paced for a moment. Alright, after I got back home yesterday I brainstormed in my room. I think I came up with something good. He stopped pacing and caught their gazes. Everyone glanced at each other, then looked at Icy again. It's simple, Icy began. We'll dress up as priests, crosses and all, and walk around town in local spots where priests go. He finished with a bright smile of pride. Kiba gave it some thought. So instead of looking for them, you want to draw them out to us? Not bad, Icy-kun. Simple, yet effective. Koneko nodded in agreement. Hayato, I'm impressed. I thought you might have actually come up with something like running around town screaming their names or something equally as idiotic. Saji complimented. Naruto lowered his head in shame. That's what I had in mind. Sighing to himself, he lifted his head to address Icy. It's good, but aren't you guys allergic or something to crosses? He asked. Kiba shook his head. Not if they're fakes. Naruto nodded. Ah. Well then, it's pretty good, I guess. Do you have the clothes already? Icy shook his head. I was going to call Zenobia after we discussed it. Naruto's face brightened. He dug into his pocket and pulled out his new phone. Hey. I got a phone too. He smiled. Akeno-chan took me to the store to get it today. Icy smiled. Great. We'll exchange numbers later. Let me call Zenobia with the plan. 40 minutes later found 7 teenagers sitting alone in a park. Zenobia handed Icy a package. I only managed to get 4. One of you will have to deal without. Naruto smirked. I got a jutsu that's perfect for this. He put his hands together into a tiger seal. Henge. He announced. He exploded in a cloud of smoke, and where he sat was an exact replica of Koneko. Complete with her trademarked monotone expression. I can even do this. The replica said in the same tone as Koneko. She stared into the real Kaneko's eyes blankly. After a moment of silence, the doppelganger put her hands together again. Henge. Another puff of smoke, and there sat Saji with a fierce flame in his eyes. Hayato. I'll lay down my life to accomplish my dream, to make Kaicho pregnant. Another cloud of smoke, and Naruto returned with a cheerful grin. The majority of the group was left dumbfounded, except for Saji, who was glaring at Naruto. That was meant to be Private Uzumaki. Naruto gave him a peculiar look. You sure? 'Cause I think everyone in that restaurant heard ya. Saji blinked before he turned his head away, red staining his cheeks. Zenobia shook her head. So you can transform into anybody, regardless of gender? She asked. Naruto nodded. I can transform into almost anything, from rocks to animals. As far as I know, they're the only things I've ever transformed into. She raised an eyebrow. And it's a corporeal transformation? Naruto tilted his head. Corporeal? You mean is it real? Yeah. Icy looked towards Naruto with curiosity. Does that mean that if you were a girl? Could you? Naruto gave him a dirty look. If you mean could I have sex as a girl, I don't know. I never cared to try. Icy seemed embarrassed of his question. He then shook his head quickly and stood enthusiastically. Do me. Naruto, transform into me. He requested excitedly. Naruto observed him for a moment before he shrugged and performed his jutsu again. Icy popped up from the smoke. Bucho's a pay. I wanna suck them. The real Icy flushed in embarrassment. Icy-senpai is the enemy of all women. Koneko commented harshly. Irina blinked twice. Icy-kun became such a perverted person. She exclaimed in shock. She turned her head towards the sky. Is this a test from Kami-sama? Everyone pointedly ignored her outburst. Zenobia herself seemed mildly disturbed by the perverted display. Naruto reversed his jutsu. Anyone else before we continue? He asked almost sarcastically. Zenobia caught his gaze and smirked. I'm curious to see your portrayal of me. She crossed her arms. Naruto sighed before he used his jutsu again. Zenobia faced Zenobia as they sported identical poses, complete with matching smirks as well. Ready to face divine punishment, Uzumaki? Icy shivered. That's too real. Naruto, how can you mimic everyone so well? He asked. Naruto transformed back and rubbed the nape of his neck. I had a lot of practice when I was little. I even made a jutsu I'm sure you would like. Icy. Maybe I'll show you later. He promised. Zenobia nodded. Alright, we did our part, you'll have to do your own investigations. She said this as she stood up. Let's go, Irina. Irina stood up as well. She winked at Icy. Call us if you find anything. She said as she walked off with Zenobia. Icy stood up and raised a fist. Alright, let's get going, we got a shitty priest to find. Naruto laid his head down uncomfortably on his desk. It had been several days since they started their search, only to find nothing. He was mentally drained, If he had to listen to another one of Saji's day-long complaints, he was going to throttle him. Not to mention, he missed several days of training, which is what he was actually upset about. Uzumaki-kun, pay attention. His English teacher reprimanded. She was a woman who couldn't be more than 30. She had a youthful face. Short mahogany-colored hair framed her face. She had a cute button nose and full glossy lips. Her body was attractive yet modest, nothing too large yet nothing too small. Had she been employed in any other high school, all of the male student body would ogle her endlessly. Sadly, she taught at Ko Academy, home of the supernaturally endowed beings. Naruto lifted his head. Hi. Hi. He mumbled, one hi is enough. Now then, since you felt so inclined to nap during class, please translate the next sentence into English. She told him. Naruto stood up, as he soon learned was custom, and grabbed his book. There is a multitude of different reasons that I could give, however none of them represent the intensity of my feelings for you. He translated with a thick accent, but otherwise perfect English. The teacher smiled. Glad to see you've been practicing. You may sit down now. Naruto sat back down and ran a hand through his hair. Of course I've been practicing. 3 clones a night. I'm already 5 chapters ahead. He complained internally. The bell rang as that class ended and the teacher left. Kiba turned to Naruto. That was impressive, Naruto-kun. Naruto rubbed his neck. Ever since those 2 from the church came I've been practicing more. So that way I can pronounce all of their weird names. Kiba chuckled. They're not weird. They're European. Naruto waved him off. They're weird to me. Oh yeah, how come you never seem to have any problems speaking English? Kiba blinked. Bucho didn't tell you. He glanced around the duo to ensure the security of their conversation. Devils have an innate ability to speak any language. It's a bit more complicated than that though. That's no fun. You don't get that feeling when you finally manage to do it right. Naruto sighed. I guess since you got it, might as well put it to good use. So anyways, are you going to that karaoke party IC invited us to? He changed the subject. Kiba shifted in his seat. I told him that if we can settle this thing with Excalibur I would go. Are you going, Naruto-kun? Naruto grinned and nodded. Even where I came from we had karaoke. I never had the chance to go because I was always training or going on missions. So of course I'm not passing this chance up. Kiba nodded in understanding. I see. The math teacher walked in before they could continue. All rise. During the time the Occult Research Club had normal activities, Naruto spent it writing into a book. Whenever someone had asked, Naruto responded with the short response, it's like a memento for my master. And my rent money. And left it at that. Everyone else performed his or her duties normally. It was later now, and it found 4 individuals walking around town. Saji, Ic, Koneko, and Kiba stayed disguised in the priest's clothes. Naruto trailed them silently in the guise of a fox. Today he realized the irony. However, he decided to ignore it. The day before yesterday, he was a snow rabbit, another piece of ironic coincidence. On the day before that, he had trailed them in his normal form. However, he quickly grew bored and decided to experiment with different animal forms. On this day, he kept as close a distance as he usually did without seeming suspicious, so he was roughly 25 feet away at all times. No progress today as well. Saji complained. Naruto twitched an ear in annoyance before he tensed at the burst of killing intent. He glanced around for an enemy that appeared to be unseen. Kiba seemed to notice as well as he also stiffened. Koneko seemed troubled. Yuto-senpai. Suddenly, Naruto lifted his head as he identified the direction the killing intent came from. He released his transformation from the cover of the foliage. He prepared to dart towards the group, however a piercing cackle broke his concentration. From above the group of priest-robed devils, came the white-haired youth Naruto saw fighting Kiba his first day in this world. He fell from the sky with a long sword drawn in position to kill. Something like a divine protection for the group of priests. Kiba reacted quickly and blocked Freed's blade with the demonic sword. Ic recognized him. Freed. He shouted. Freed's ears twitched. Is that voice you, Ic-kun? Well, isn't this a weird reunion? How is it? Has your dragon power increased? Is it alright to kill you now? He asked excitedly. Naruto strode out of the bushes as the group discarded their disguises. Ic raised his left arm. Boosted gear. Boost. His arm announced. Naruto drew a kunai. Flipping it expertly, he held it in a reverse grip. Stretch my line. Saji launched what looked like a skinny black hand towards Freed. It came from a disfigured lizard face attached to his hand. Everyone quickly deduced that the hand was the lizard's tongue. Such a pain. Freed moved to knock it away, but the lizard's tongue swerved downwards and stuck to Freed's right foot and coiled around his leg. His attempts to cut it failed as his sword phased through the tongue. Saji smirked. You can't cut it that easily. Kiba. With this he can't escape. Beat him down. Naruto looked at Saji with newfound respect. He turned his attention back towards the ex-exorcist. I got your back, Kiba, let's do this. Kiba nodded. Thank you, Saji. Let's go, Naruto-kun. I'm trusting you to watch my six. Naruto smirked. No problem. He held his kunai in front of his chest. Kiba made a quick dash towards Freed, two demonic swords in hand. Freed looked excited. Gee, so it's not only the holy eraser, I see. Having multiple demonic swords. Are you the possessor of sword birth, perhaps? Wow. You're guilty of having a rare sacred gear, you know. He cackled as he blocked the demonic swordsman's blades. But normal demonic swords can't put up a challenge against. Kiba's eyes narrowed as his swords broke. My Excalibur-chan. Freed gloated. Naruto-kun. Kiba sidestepped. Naruto rushed next to him with a kunai charged with wind chakra. Take this, you bastard. He shouted as he swung. Freed blocked lazily, seemingly uncaring as Naruto's kunai withstood the contact from his sword. Not good enough, Stranger-kun. He laughed. Naruto smirked. He performed several quick jabs with his kunai. Each blow was deflected easily. He flipped acrobatically over Freed and attempted a slash at his back. Freed spun and parried his kunai. The kunai finally shattered against the holy sword. The Dimension Traveler ducked under the swing that nearly decapitated him. He quickly darted backwards as Kiba swung at Freed from the side. Never forget about me. Kiba shouted. Freed bent backwards in an impressive display of flexibility as Kiba flew over him. 2 against little oil me? Devil-kun. I thought you were better than that. He laughed disturbingly. It doesn't matter, you can't stand up to my Excalibur-chan. Kiba and Naruto moved back. Kiba glowered at Freed. Kiba, I want to take him alone. I have to prove myself. Naruto sighed. He thought about it for a moment before he nodded. Fine, but don't forget about us. We're here to help. Kiba nodded. Boost. IC steadily boosted his powers. We got your back, Kiba. With ISC's words of encouragement, Kiba rushed towards Freed and engaged in a battle of high-class swordplay. Every time one of his demonic swords shattered, he replaced them within milliseconds. Naruto leapt back towards IC but stayed ready to intercept. IC grit his teeth as he watched Kiba's sword shatter time after time. Kiba. Do you want to receive my power? He asked. Kiba dodged an overhead strike from Freed. I can still go on. He assured before striking with renewed ferocity, glowering at the Excalibur that Freed held. Freed cackled. The way you look at my Excalibur is scary. Do you perhaps hold a grudge against it? He asked with a deranged smile. Well, I don't know what happened to you, but if you get cut by this you can't avoid being eliminated without a trace, you know. You'll die, you know. You are going to die. Just die. He shouted. Freed leapt into the air and prepared to strike. His Excalibur began to radiate a brilliant white. Kiba attempted to block the psychotic swordsman by creating demonic swords across the area. Freed smiled eerily, and with a single strike, all of Kiba's swords shattered. Naruto glared at Freed. It's like watching Sasuke face Haku. Damn it. He widened his eyes. Wait. He smirked triumphantly. That gives me an idea. He turned towards the foliage around the area and his smirk widened. He looked towards Kiba. Kiba, tag out. I got an idea. Kiba dodged a sideways sweep and looked at Naruto. He saw the blonde's confident grin and sighed. Fine. I'll leave it to you. He threw a demonic sword towards Freed with deadly accuracy. He took Freed's lapse of concentration to retreat backwards toward the group. Naruto nodded. He spared a glance towards Saji. Pull hard on his leg when I make my move, you'll know when. Saji gave him a quizzical glance. How'd you? He shook his head. Never mind, you got it. Naruto reached into his pouch and retrieved a paper flash bomb. Freed raised an eyebrow. Are we playing baseball now? Blondie. He grinned widely. The silver-haired swordsman raised his sword in a mock batter stance. Naruto grinned cheekily. He sent a pulse of chakra into the ball. He gave it a light toss as it exploded into a blinding light. When the light vanished, Naruto was gone and a light haze of smoke settled over the ground. BGM Kenja, Blood Prison OST. Freed turned and gazed among the trees. Naruto smirked from his hiding spot. Thanks for the idea, Zabuzasan. 8 choices. His voice reverberated around the clearing. Unknown to anyone other than Naruto, during the flash he had created dozens of clones for this specific purpose. Icy glanced around the clearing, searching for the resident shinobi. Liver, lungs, spine, clavicle vein. Freed turned to the right. Huh. That is one seriously nice trick. Naruto ignored Freed's comment. Neck vein, the brain. Saji darted his eyes back and forth from voice to voice. Where's it coming from? Kidneys, heart? There are 8 choices to pick from to disable a human target. Which one should I pick? Fried grinned and licked his lips. I like you, Blondie. He raised his Excalibur in preparation. Of course, the trick is to know where to defend. He laughed. And all surprise attacks come. He turned and swung Excalibur at Naruto, who was behind him. From behind, Naruto's eyes widened in disbelief as Excalibur cleaved him in half. And BGM, Koneko hitched her breath. No, Kiba clenched his fist in anger. Not again. Naruto-kun. Fried cackled in satisfaction before a puff of smoke exploded in his face. BGM the mission, Road to Ninja OST, you're right. I'm behind ya, bastard. Naruto roared from behind Fried, armed with a Rasengan clutched in his palm. Take this. Rasengan. Fried turned quickly and brought his sword up to block. The rotating sphere of chakra clashed with the legendary sword. 2 opposite forces battled for dominance. Naruto narrowed his eyes as he pushed against the holy weapon. He felt his Rasengan begin to destabilize. He gave one final thrust and smiled when a minuscule crack formed on the blade near the tip. He released his jutsu and dashed backwards as the blade swerved off course. And BGM, the blonde shinobi grinned as he met up with the group once again. Now's your chance, Kiba. Go out there and kick his ass. He encouraged. His fellow blonde gave a nod of gratitude. He turned towards Icy. Will you support me, Icy-kun? The ultimate pervert smirked. Anytime. Here we go. Gift, transfer. Kiba's was filled with draconic energy as a demonic aura surrounded his body. He smiled. With this, I can end this battle. Naruto glared at Saji while Kiba stood amazed at his own power. What the hell? Didn't I say pull his leg? He demanded his answers. The student council member blushed in embarrassment. I'm sorry. I thought you were dead when he cut you in half. He apologized. Naruto put a hand to his forehead. It's so hard to find good help these days. It's like you're a greenhorn genin. He sighed. Fine. I'll let it go this time. But next time be prepared, damn it. At Saji's nod, he turned towards Kiba once again. Kiba observed the surroundings before he came to his decision. He closed his eyes in concentration. He held his arms outwards and furrowed his brow. Slowly the demonic energy that engulfed him redirected itself towards his open palms. 2 blades formed in his hands. One was a pale aqua straight sword whose blade was thin and slender, while the other was a pitch black sword with trims of gray along the blade. Kiba opened his eyes and smiled sheepishly. I will admit, I saw these in an anime once. The names of the blades you will face, Fried Zelzen, are the Dark Repulsor and the Elucidator. He declared. Fried appraised the demonic swords with a bloodthirsty smile. He licked his lips. Bring it, Devil-kun. Kiba rocketed towards Fried with a ferocious cry. He lashed out at the former exorcist with expert precision. What followed next was a battle between swordsmen that could have rivaled a battle from the 7 swordsmen of the mist in sheer ferocity. For once, Naruto wished he had a Sharingan to record this epic confrontation. The clashing of metal continued for several moments. Fried then danced around Kiba's latest strikes with masterful grace. He retaliated with a quick thrust from his blade. Kiba raised his weapons into a defensive cross stance. He braced himself but was unprepared for the multitude of strikes that came from the silver-haired exorcist. He buckled under the pressure from Fried's Excalibur. Fried ceased his attack and cackled. I guess I should have mentioned Devil-kun. My Excalibur is Excalibur rapidly. It can't lose in terms of velocity. He boasted. Kiba glowered at the manic exorcist. His arms had gone numb from the vibrations in his swords. Fried licked his lips. I do have to give you credit though. Those demonic blades you got there aren't half bad. Too bad their wielder is a piece of shit devil. Haha. He raised his blade and prepared to end Kiba's life. Suddenly, a flying kunai was by his face, forcing him to dodge. Its direction came from the trees in the area. Not gonna happen. Saji yelled. He reeled his arm as if he had been fishing. Fried stumbled as the tongue still attached to his leg yanked him backwards. He glared at the offending appendage as a shallow light flowed from his leg to Saji's sacred gear. Fuck is this? Shit. You're absorbing my powers. You little shit. Fried cursed loudly. Saji smirked. How's that? This is my sacred gear absorption line. As long as this line is connected to you, my sacred gear will continue to absorb your power. He gloated. Fried clicked his tongue in annoyance. Dragon-type sacred gears are always most annoying type. He shifted his gaze between Saji and Icy. The initial ability isn't worth shit, but when it grows, the destructible power surpasses other sacred gears on a whole different fucking level. Scary. Man, that's such a goddamn nuisance. Naruto blinked. Wasn't there someone who cursed a lot in the Akatsuki? He asked himself. What was his name again? Jashin? No, I think he worshipped him. Todamaru. No, that's my old neighbor. Ah. Haiden. Shikamaru kicked that guy's ass if I remember. He reminisced. Freed began to swing his Excalibur rapidly at the ethereal line attached to his leg. Naruto concentrated on Freed. He laughed internally at the stupid expression Freed displayed as he continued to fail. Kiba twisted his arms as he felt the feeling in them return. He gave Saji a nod of thanks. Saji gave the Knight of Rias a thumbs up. He grinned towards Freed. One more time. Freed raised an eyebrow. The Fu dash. He was cut off as Saji pulled on the cable that connected the two. He lost his balance and raised his blade instinctively. Kiba had taken the moment to rush Freed with both swords poised to kill. Unfortunately for the blonde swordsman, Freed's instincts were better than he had anticipated. Time seemed to slow for a moment as Kiba swung the elucidator at Freed. The dark repulsor wasn't far behind. His eyes caught sight of a crack near the tip of Excalibur that Naruto had made earlier. He smiled triumphantly. He utilized his Knight speed and changed the trajectory of the pale green blade to attack that location specifically. Time resumed its normal pace as the black blade shattered against the base of Excalibur. The dark repulsor struck true and smashed against the weak point of the blade. Kiba frowned when he noticed his attack had little effect, save for a larger, more noticeable crack on Excalibur. He backtracked and prepared to create new swords when an unfamiliar voice spoke up. Sword birth, huh? It's a sacred gear that can have an infinite number of powers depending on the possessor. Everyone turned towards the voice to see an aged man standing in the shadows of a building. He was garbed in traditional priest robes. Is that you, old man Valper? Freed grinned. Kiba's eyes widened. Valper Galilei? He growled. Valper Galilei stood casually. I certainly am. He confirmed. He stared at Freed. What are you doing, Freed? Freed pointed at the lizard's tongue attached to his leg. Old man. I can't run away because of this guy's weird lizard tongue. He complained. Valper glared at the exorcist. You've somehow managed to damage Excalibur. He admonished. Humph. You still can't use the holy sword perfectly yet. If you had used the element I gave you more wisely, either you nor the holy sword would be damaged. How many times have I told you? Gather the holy element that's running throughout your body to the blade of the holy sword. With that, you should be able to cut it. I'll deal with that crack later. Valper explained in an aggravated tone. Freed grinned nastily, seemingly uncaring at Valper's anger. Yeah? His sword began to glow. He swung at the tongue and it sliced through it with ease. Naruto took this chance. He dashed towards Freed once again. Freed saw Naruto move and sneered. He moved to cut down said blonde with a single strike. Naruto watched his wrist carefully, then sidestepped to the right. He charged his fist with chakra and launched to Freed's side. Freed coughed up blood. You little shit. You've been one big pain in my ass, Blondie. Who the fuck are you? He snarled. Valper answered him. Senjutsu Master, comparable to Sun Wukong himself, Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto narrowed his eyes at the old man. This guy knows too much. If Erosenin taught me anything, it's that the guys that know a lot are dangerous. Freed gained a crazy smile. So you're the talk of the town. Took down a B-class stray devil single-handedly. I finally got a name for your face, Naruto the Sage-kun? Naruto's sweat dropped at the lame title. Seriously, there's something messed up with the way people name things here. He grumbled. Freed waved dramatically. Sorry, Naruto-kun. I'll be escaping now. I enjoyed your little parlor trick. Devil-kun, the next time we meet will be the time of our ultimate battle. I won't let you escape. A voice sounded. Naruto tensed as a figure sped past Naruto and clashed blades with Freed. Naruto relaxed a bit when he saw a streak of blue hair. Yahoo! Ise-kun, Irina. Naruto turned and saw Irina near Ise smiling. Back up. It's about time. He thought to himself. Zenobia glared at Freed. Freed Zelzen, Valper Galilei. Rebels. I will cut you both down in the name of Kami-sama. She swung her sword at Freed with a large amount of strength. Valper grit his teeth. You fool. If that attack lands, the Excalibur will shatter. Freed once again displayed unnatural flexibility as he narrowly dodged the attack. Ha! Don't say the name of the hateful god that I hate. You bitch. He screamed as he pulled out a ball of light. Old man Valper. We're escaping. We're going to report to the boss, Kokabile. Valper sighed. There's no other way. Freed smirked. See ya. The alliance of church and devils. Oh, and can't forget my new love. Naruto the Sage-kun. I think I'll steal your trick. Ha ha. He cackled as he threw the ball of light on the ground. A flash of light blinded the group. When everyone regained their sight, Freed and Valper had vanished. We're going after them, Irina, Zenobia commanded. Irina nodded and they sprinted after them. I'm going after them too. I won't let you escape, Valper Galilei. I was this close to my vengeance. I will destroy Excalibur. Kiba vanished in a burst of speed. Kiba. Damn. Naruto cursed. Aren't you going after them, Naruto? Ice inquired. Naruto shook his head. It's too late. We've been found out, he said. He turned around towards the two girls behind them. Right, Rias-chan? He grinned. Icy froze. When I thought that the flow of power was irregular, the other girl said in annoyance. Rias had her arms crossed and sported a frown. This is certainly troublesome. Icy turned around slowly. Icy. What's the meaning of this? Naruto, you too. Explain. Rias put a hand to her face. Destroying Excalibur. Honestly, you three, Icy, Koneko and Saji sat down in Saiza position in the nearby park. Naruto stood slightly behind them with his hands behind his head casually. The other woman, who Naruto found out was Sona Citri, the student council president and sister to the Mao Leviathan Dash, looked down at Saji with a cold expression. Saji, you were doing something like this behind me? You truly are a troublesome child. Saji grew cold in the face. I'm sorry, Kaicho. He whimpered. Rias sighed. So Yudo went after that person called Valper? Icy answered her. Yes. I think he's with Irina and Zenobia. I think that he's going to call us if something happens. He said it hesitantly. Do you think Yudo, who became an Avenger, would call us normally? Rias countered. Have a little faith, Rias-chan. She ignored Naruto and looked at Koneko. Koneko, yes. Why did you do this? Koneko looked into Rias' eyes. I don't want Yudo-senpai to go away. She said it honestly. Rias looked confused rather than angry. She sighed. She rubbed her brow with her hand. Saying all of this when it has already happened won't change anything, I guess. But what you two did could have affected the world of devils. You understand that, right? Icy and Koneko nodded their heads. Hi. She turned to Naruto. You're not off the hook either, Naruto. Naruto scratched his neck sheepishly. What were you thinking? Naruto stayed silent for a moment before he sighed. He crossed his arms and smiled softly. I didn't tell you this, but I didn't come alone to this world. Sona spoke up. He's the one you were speaking of, Rias? Rias nodded and motioned for Naruto to continue. He locked eyes with her. The person who came with me, Uchiha Sasuke, is a good friend who lost himself to his revenge. His brother murdered his entire clan. Rias' eyes gained an understanding light. Icy gasped. The shinobi ignored their reactions. And when we were 13, me and him had a huge battle. We were barely even shinobi then. He shook his head. His demeanor turned and he frowned. He was leaving the village to join a man who offered him power. When we fought, I could feel his emotions from every punch, kick and jutsu he fired at me. I lost that battle and he disappeared. Naruto looked down. 2.5 years passed, and I trained with my master. We met again at Orochimaru's hideout. He was Sasuke's teacher. When we met again, he was nothing like the Sasuke I knew. Okay, he was still an asshole, but he wasn't the same. Again I lost him. Naruto grit his teeth. After a while, he finally killed his brother. And after learning the truth of his clan's murder, he completely lost himself to the darkness in his heart. Naruto clenched his fist. He joined up with an organization who wanted to take over the world. They were after 9 specific people to take their power for themselves. I was one of those 9 as well as 2 friends of mine. They started the 4th Shinobi World War. Naruto breathed deeply. So I've seen what revenge can drive a person to do. Rias' expression was stiff. Then why are you helping Kiba? Naruto grinned. See, the problem Sasuke had was that he tried to cut his bonds. Really dumb move on his part. So I'm trying to keep Kiba from trying to do the same. As long as Kiba believes he can rely on his friends, I think he can move on from his hate. If we can get Kiba to acknowledge the hatred in his heart but still move on from it, I think he'll be fine. What makes you so sure? Personal experience. Rias left it at that. Sona had a troubled expression on her brow. You said your friend, Uchiha Sasuke, came here with you. Should we be concerned? You did say he left for a madman. Naruto smiled brighter. Yeah, probably not his smartest idea. He chuckled. But to answer your question, I wouldn't worry about him. The last time we met, we were comrades once again, and shared the same dream. I'd trust him with my life. Sona nodded, content with his answer. Where is he now? Naruto shrugged. Who knows where that jerk's gone to? Probably in China, I think it was. The president nodded once more before turning to Saji. Ria sighed. Fine, if you give me a response like that, I can't really blame you. Honestly, you all are troublesome. Naruto, Ic and Koneko apologized sincerely. Ic and Koneko bowed their heads. Everyone turned at the sound of slapping. Saji was there getting a spanking from his master. Sona had Saji kneeling over while she smacked his behind with her hand, which was covered in demonic magic. Looks like you need to reflect on your behavior, Saji was crying. Yuwa. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, Kaichu. Number 1000 spankings. Naruto sent Saji a pitying glance. Ria spoke as if she didn't notice. I sent my familiar to search for Yuto. Let's go to him with the rest of the club members when he is found. We will decide what to do from there. Okay, the three of them responded with a yes. Suddenly, Rias had engulfed them into a hug. She even managed to get Naruto as well. You three are stupid children. Making me worry so much. Light energy is so dangerous to you three. And Naruto, you may be strong but you still know so little of our world. If something had happened to any of you, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself. Naruto's eyes widened. He stood stock still as he pondered how to take her response. She was worried about me too. I'm not even a part of her peerage. Why would she care so much about someone she only met about a week and a half ago? She's done so much for me, I need to think. Naruto was having a mental conflict. He was cut from his thinking by a cry from Saji. Yuwa. Kaichu. They finished with a good atmosphere. Sona continued smacking his bottom. They are them. We are us. Naruto winced as he watched Saji continue to get a spanking. Rias let go of the trio and lit her hand in crimson-colored magic. Now I see. Show me your bottom. Ise's eyes widened comically. It's the master's duty to discipline their servants. You're also getting 1000 spankings. Naruto, you will watch. I can't spank you, but instead you're going to watch the entire thing. It's the respect you will show for Ise and myself. Understand? Naruto nodded hesitantly. He winced after every smack, as he watched Ise's ass die that evening. Naruto returned home that evening with a sense of dread. He couldn't relax, so instead of entering his apartment, he went to the roof to meditate. Naruto sat down in the lotus position and slowly began drawing in nature chakra. He focused on his breathing as he felt the energy of Senjutsu empower him. He remained frozen in his position for hours, slowly gathering extreme amounts of nature chakra, utilizing his enormous tenketsu to store it all. The synergy between his physical, spiritual, and nature chakra brought him a sense of heightened awareness. He could feel everything around him. He felt the energies of his new comrades who were safe for now. He raised an eyebrow when he felt a shockingly familiar feeling from those who he had identified as Ic, Asia, Akeno, and even the fast-moving Kiba. He slowly returned to the realm of the conscious mind and furrowed his brow. I can't shake this feeling, he whispered to himself. I've felt this sense of dread since I left the park. That's your battle instincts, young man. You have a tough battle coming. Your instincts are telling you to prepare, a man said from behind him. Naruto's eyes widened. He jumped to his feet and turned. The man who spoke had spiky dark brown hair and a blonde fringe. He wore casual dark pants with a dark red striped dress shirt. Naruto prepared a combat stance. I didn't even sense him. The man put his hands up as a sign of nonviolence. If you thought I didn't sense him, then don't worry. I've had thousands of years of hiding experience. Naruto didn't relax as he heightened his guard. Who are you? He demanded. The man put his hands in his pockets. Me? My name is Azazel. The man grinned. What do you want with me? Azazel rubbed the back of his neck. One of my subordinates is about to break the treaty the three factions agreed to. Naruto tightened his fists. Wait, does that mean? Azazel smirked. That's right, young man. I am the leader of the fallen angel faction, Grigori. As he said this, 12 black wings sprouted from behind him like everlasting darkness. He lifted his hands in a placating manner. Don't worry though, I come in peace. To prove his point, his wings retracted back inside his body. Naruto eyed him warily. Why should I trust you? Azazel smiled. Ah. Keen instinct, worthy of one who calls himself shinobi. Why should you trust me indeed? But I know all about you, Uzumaki Naruto of Konohagakure no Sato. The rumored child of prophecy in some circles. Naruto's eyes widened. How did you know that? He asked hotly. Azazel answered honestly. Young man, if you could travel to this dimension, what makes you think we couldn't peek into yours? Naruto stood stunned. Could this mean? Can I go back? Should I go back? The Grigori leader knew what was on the blonde's mind. I am sorry, Uzumaki Naruto, but travel into your dimension is and always has been impossible. Naruto's expression disheartened. What do you mean impossible? His tone was desperate. When you first came here, did you notice a lapse in the time? Azazel asked. Naruto nodded. When we left it was October, now it's May. Azazel smiled. Yes, you traveled through the dimensional stream for many months, perhaps even years or even millenniums. There's no way to be certain. However, around a month ago, your dimension became known to us. Unfortunately for us, travel there has always been impossible, although we were treated to various snippets of images that passed through, apparently out of order as well. The very last image I saw of you, you were only 13, while the one before that you must have been at least 16. He explained. Naruto stared in shock. This man knew of him, had seen his home. Wasn't he supposed to be an enemy? Azazel looked at Naruto. You're probably wondering why I would contact you. The truth is, I have a request. Naruto tilted his head. What kind of request? Azazel looked Naruto in the eyes. Help me bring peace to the three factions, he said seriously. Naruto blinked in surprise. Huh? You're really asking me that? Aren't you supposed to be all bad and stuff? Azazel chuckled. Ah yes, well maybe to the devils and angels perhaps. Tell me, do you know why fallen angels have fallen? Naruto shook his head. Well, to be put simply, we became too human. We allowed human emotions to control our actions, whether it be love, greed, wrath, and other such emotions. He scratched his cheek in embarrassment. I fell from heaven because I lusted after human women. Such delectable figures that make you want to dash. Naruto deadpanned as he stared at the governor. All the damn time. Why am I stuck with so many perverts? Azazel coughed into his hand. Anyways, I am tired of the pointless fighting between the factions over grudges that are millennia old. Peace is best. Isn't it? Azazel asked Naruto. Naruto finally let his guard down and nodded. Yeah. Peace is best. You're not too bad, Azazel-san. I'll help as best as I can. Azazel nodded gratefully. That's refreshing to hear. I don't need your help right this moment, but I have a warning. My rebellious subordinate, Kokobile, will strike tonight if my sources are correct. Take this time to gather your strength. He began to move towards the edge of the roof before he stopped. Oh, and don't tell the Gremry Princess of this little conversation. The backlash won't be enjoyable. We'll meet again soon, Naruto-kun. With that, he walked off the edge of the building and disappeared. Naruto, who had stayed in Sannin mode the entire conversation, stayed silent for a moment, until he took Azazel's advice and sat back down to gather as much nature chakra as he could. Even as he felt the massive presence by Ise's home, he continued to gather chakra. He stayed that way until his phone rang. He saw it was Rias' number and answered it. Kokobile has declared war. We're at the school. Hurry, got it, he replied. He stood and vanished in a flurry of leaves. The battle for peace, he realized, had just begun. Naruto arrived late as everyone had gathered already, save for Kiba. Rias was conversing with Sona when Naruto walked up to them. Rias, our enemy is a monster with strength above ours. It's still not too late. We should get your Onisama. Rias shook her head. You don't understand, Sona. We have a monster in strength ourselves, she said. Sona shook her head. If you are talking about the Shippuuryu, no, Ise-kun has the potential, but he isn't ready for this. I was talking about Naruto, who is standing behind you, she said. Sona's eyes widened. She turned and saw Naruto standing rather imposingly. His expression was serious as he stood dressed in his burnt orange jumpsuit and a long black headband with a metal piece stitched into it. Over that was a medium-sized scroll on his back. His eyes reflected the nature chakra he had gathered with an impressive gold and sideways slitted pupil. Rias resumed her conversation. He has shown us his power before, but I believe he has not shown us all of it. Besides, I believe you didn't call your Onisama either. Sona turned back to Rias. She seemed embarrassed. My Onisama. Your Oni-sama loves you. Surzek-sama will definitely move. So. She trailed off. I have already informed Surzek-sama, Akeno said over their voices. Akeno. Rias criticized. Rias, I know that you don't want to cause problems for Surzek-sama. It happened in your territory, in your base. And it happened after the family problem. But it's a different story if the leader of the enemy appears. I want to believe in Naruto-kun as well, but this is a problem of the devils, and it's a problem that surpasses the level you can solve. Let's borrow the strength of a Mao. Akeno argued intensely. Naruto blinked, having not seen this side Akeno. Rias looked like she was about to protest before she took a deep breath and nodded. Akeno regained her usual smile. Thank you for understanding the situation, Bucho. She turned to the student council president. Sona-sama, Surzek-sama's reinforcements will be here in 1 hour. Sona nodded. 1 hour. I understand. In that time, we, the student council, will vow to continue to place the barriers in the name of the Citri. She vowed. Rias made her decision as well. She turned to Naruto. Naruto, can we leave Kokubile to you? I am afraid none of us can hold a candle to him as of now. At least until Oniai-sama arrives? Naruto nodded and slammed a fist to his chest. You can leave it to me. That bastard won't know what hit him. He smirked. She smiled and nodded. We have 1 hour. Now, my servants. We will be the support for Naruto. We will draw Kokubile's attention until we have him in an optimum position for Naruto to strike. I see, you will be Naruto's direct support. Understood? Icy responded quickly. Yes, Rias looked at them all with compassion. This is not like the battle against Phoenix, this is a battle of life and death. Even so, I will not forgive you if you die. We will survive and continue to attend that school. She pointed towards the academy. Everyone responded with a unified yes. Icy and Saji began speaking with each other as Rias approached Naruto. Naruto, are you prepared? Rias inquired. Naruto nodded. Yeah, I felt weird since we left the park, so I've been gathering nature chakra since then. I had a bad feeling and I was right. Rias nodded before her expression became melancholy. I'm sorry to thrust this upon you so soon after we've met. Naruto smiled. Don't worry about it. We're comrades now, not as a master and her subordinates like Icy and the others, but through goodwill and trust. I feel like I have regained a little of what I lost when I came to this world. Rias looked up and gave him a quizzical expression. Naruto extended his arms and grinned. I have a place to call home, and comrades to share it with, thanks to you. Rias smiled brightly at his answer. Naruto held out a fist. Rias held out her own fist and bumped it against his. She widened her eyes at the warmth that exuded from his hand. Naruto linked his very malleable chakra with her magic, intertwining their energies for the briefest of moments. It was an easier process with her magic than it was for a shinobi's chakra. Chakra was denser than magic and was more difficult to link to as opposed to the fluid motions of demonic magic. When he retracted his chakra from her, he noticed a peculiar energy enter him before it disappeared amongst his monstrous reserves. Soon after, the back of his fist glowed for a moment before the symbol for the House of Gremory faded into view. Rias' eyes widened almost comically before her breath hitched. Naruto. I can't be entirely sure. But I think you just did what was supposed to be impossible. If my theory is correct. You just recreated the contract of families. Naruto tilted his head in confusion. What do you mean? Rias lifted her hand as the iconic spiral-shaped Uzumaki clan symbol seeped into view. I'm not 100% positive that's what it is. The information has been lost to the general public for many years. Only the Mao and some of the older devils know all the details. However, if rumor has it, with that seal on your hand, you are forever a friend to the Gremory house. Naruto looked at his hand as he saw the symbol shimmer away into his skin. It still works even though I'm not a devil? He asked. Rias shrugged. Theoretically, contracts can be formed between two beings with magic, or chakra in your case, inside of them. So it's not outside the realm of possibility that it can be performed with a human. She explained. Supposedly it also allows you use of our magic circle, but I can't be sure. Akeno, who had been watching nearby, spoke up. Era. Naruto-kun has a special bond with Bucho, even though she already has Icy-kun. She cupped her face and sighed. Bucho is so greedy, I'm a little jealous. Ufufa. Naruto rubbed the back of his neck as he attempted to decipher what she meant. Akeno looked at Naruto and smirked playfully. Although, I can't really blame you, Bucho. He is pleasing to the eyes. Ufufa. Rias sighed. You certainly have an interesting view of what just happened. Akeno laughed softly. Rias looked towards the school and narrowed her eyes. The ebony-haired beauty noticed. It's about time we finished our preparations. The Gremory princess nodded. She glanced towards her hand to see the Uzumaki clan symbol had vanished. You're right, I'll discuss this with Oniai-sama later. Now, let's go. She spun and walked towards the school's gate. Her peerage fell into step behind her. Naruto narrowed his eyes towards the massive presence in that direction. Naruto, come on, we're going. Icy called out. Naruto grinned in anticipation. His blood pulsed from within his veins as he trailed after Rias and her group. After all, he was a shinobi, and shinobi lived to fight. As he strode towards the gate, his eyes twitched subtly, and violets slowly began bleeding into Naruto's golden irises. The group entered from the main gate and moved towards the school field. After Rias gave her permission, Icy promoted himself to queen. What greeted them at the field was a bizarre scene. In the middle of the school field were 4 separate swords that were releasing an excessive amount of light, whilst hovering within the center of a large magic circle. Said magic circle spread throughout the entire field. The old man, Valper Galilei, stood at the core of the circle. Icy glanced around in shock. What is this? He voiced his uncertainty. Naruto, however, found himself drawn towards the sky, where the large presence exuded. Valper smiled eerily. I'm going to fuse the 4 Excaliburs into one. He spoke as if he found it amusing. Valper. How much longer will it take for the Excaliburs to merge? A supercilious voice inquired from above the group. Naruto narrowed his eyes as he finally managed to make out the figure in the sky. Kokobile was arrogantly perched on a seat that hovered in the sky. He had crossed his legs confidently. He was a figure of pale blue complexion that looked more elf-like than human. Long pointed ears accompanied dark hair and high cheekbones. Glowing red eyes gazed impassively at the group. Valper spoke to him. It won't even take 5 minutes, Kokobile. The crack Freed caused will have no effect on the new Excalibur. Is that so? I will leave it to you. Kokobile shifted his eyes from Valper to Rias. Is Surzex coming? Or is it Seraphel? Rias stood proudly. In the places of Oniai-sama and Leviathan-sama, a large explosion rocked the school as the gym was destroyed in a large pillar of light. Naruto narrowed his eyes at the callous display of power from the fallen angel. Granted, Naruto could easily do the same thing and even cause more collateral damage. It was a pointless display in his opinion. Oi team. You're just gonna sit on your throne, destroy things and let your minions do all the work. Kokobile gazed at him and smirked. Why not? They exist for a reason. I might even get some amusement out of it. I am disappointed that the Maus won't be gracing us with their presence, however I believe it will still be somewhat entertaining. He licked his lips, eerily similar to a former snake Sannin. Isc's eyes glazed over in a way similar to when Naruto spoke to Kurama. He seemed to be having an internal conversation, before he sighed and gripped Naruto's shoulder with his left hand. My partner wants to talk to you, he said simply. Naruto wondered what he meant before a voice he didn't recognize sounded in his head. Sage of Enti Maiboku. Can you hear me? Naruto's eyes widened. Yeah. Who is this? He asked. I am the Welsh dragon known as Drake. You are Fukusuka's student, are you not? How did you know that? Drake chuckled. Time flows differently between our worlds, so that old toad should be about 800 years old or so. On the other hand, I am several thousands of years old. I knew him when we were both but lads in our youth. Before the god of this world sealed off your world, and before the White One and I were destroyed, we were close friends. I see many of his teachings in you. Drake admitted. I see. Thanks, I guess. You are also the host of Kurama. Indeed, such a rare find. Hagoromo was always proud of that one, although he seems to be indisposed of for right now. That fox has always been a lazy one, but I digress. I am here to tell you that you have the support of me, the Welsh dragon. With my power you can definitely surpass the level of a Mao, maybe even God as well. Naruto blinked before he nodded. Alright then. I'm counting on you and I see. Very well, young sage, and don't worry, my partner can't hear this conversation. Farewell. Until we speak again. Naruto felt the presence leave his head as Icy took his hand off of Naruto's shoulder. He turned his attention back towards the figure in the sky. Kokobile smirked. Now that the pleasantries have been taken care of, I will have you all fight my pet that I brought from hell, he said as he clicked his fingers. From below the earth came a shattering roar as something broke the surface. The large figure was about 30 feet tall, and had a large black body. Its eyes were as crimson as the blood in their veins. The most definitive aspect of this beast were its 3 heads. Naruto glared at it. A 3-headed dog? He asked himself. What the hell? It gave a loud roar of fury. Rias glared at it. Cerberus, she said with disgust. What the fuck is this thing, Rias-chan? It's a famous creature that has the nickname of Guard Dog of Hell, she explained. Guard Dog of Hell? Icy mumbled. Rias nodded. It lives in the gates of hell, no, to the underworld. Still, to bring it to the human's world. She glared at the elf-like fallen angel. Is it bad? Icy asked. Rias ignored his question and seemed to pump herself up. We have to do it. We'll blow it away, Icy. Icy, impressed by his master, began to pump himself up as well. Hi Bucho. Let's do it, boosted gear. He released his gauntlet. Boost. Rias put her hand on Icy's shoulder. We have to let Naruto conserve as much energy as he can. So this time, we will back you up, Icy. Icy nodded. So do I give him the finishing blow by charging my power? He asked. Rias shook her head. No, I will have you support us. You'll transfer your boosted power to us. Your sacred gear powers you up and also increases the power of your comrades in a team battle. Icy nodded at her explanation. By the way, Icy, including your power up, how many times can you transfer your powers? She asked. Icy thought about it. With my current stamina, I can only transfer it 3 or 4 times with the maximum boost. No, I might faint after the 4th time, so please think I can only do it 3 times. He admitted. Rias nodded. I see. So we can't waste it, she said. Naruto cut in. I can feel 2 signatures approaching at high speeds. He smirked. It's our backup, they'll be here in 2 minutes. Rias nodded in relief. Akeno, she called. Naruto watched as the 2 of them spread their wings and engaged the Cerberus from the sky. He narrowed his eyes as he witnessed the Cerberus shoot fireballs at them at high speeds. Akeno countered the ball of burning fire by freezing it. Rias then charged and fired a cube of her family's specific brand of destruction magic towards Cerberus. Another one of the heads defended with its own fireball, shadowed by a blast of fire from the 3rd head. Naruto smirked as he watched Koneko hit one of the heads with a devastating amount of force. That must have gave it a concussion, if it was even possible for Cerberus. Cerberuses. Cerberi. Whatever. Koneko beat its ass. She's putting the training to good use. He complimented aloud. All 4 sessions of them. Haha. He chuckled lightly. Akeno took the chance and launched a violent storm of lighting at the beast. Naruto didn't watch as the Cerberus brushed the attack off. Instead, he turned around and glared at the ground. We got another one coming fast. Behind us, Icy quickly turned around to watch as a second Cerberus erupted from the ground and sped towards them. What are we gonna do, Naruto? Naruto smirked. Just protect Asia. Our backup's here. Naruto was proven right as several seconds later, one of the 3 heads flew into the sky, beheaded by a long Excalibur. Zenobia stood proudly beside them. I have come to back you up, she assured. Took you long enough, Naruto commented lightly. Zenobia smirked. Sorry to keep you waiting then. She glared at the Cerberus. Here I come. She dashed at the howling Cerberus, slashed its torso, and observed as it began to vaporize. Every strike of my holy sword gives critical damage to creatures. She then delivered the final blow, and watched it turn to dust and disappear. Ayasi's gauntlet began to flash, and he had a short conversation with his partner. He turned to Rias. Bucho. Akeno-san. I have got enough power to take down Cerberus. He shouted at them. Akeno and Rias nodded at each other, and flew to Icy at the same time. Icy. You increased the strength of the cross and the holy water in the battle against Razor, right? Icy nodded dumbly. Yes, I did, Rias smiled. So it's possible to increase both of us at the same time then. Please transfer the power to Akeno and I. Icy explained to them that Drake said that he could only transfer 70 or 80% of the boosted power if he did that. Rias and Akeno nodded. I think that would be enough. Akeno said. Yes. We can do it, please. They both pleaded. Icy nodded and put a hand on both of their shoulders. Let's do it. Boosted gear. Transfer. Naruto watched in awe as Rias and Akeno stood inside auras of power. Unlike Icy, he could sense how powerful they had become. He watched as Akeno pointed her fingers to the sky to summon her lightning. The Cerberus felt the incoming lightning and attempted to run but was prevented by countless swords impaling its foot from the ground. Naruto smirked. So he finally showed up. He murmured. Kiba phased into place. I won't let you escape, he shouted. Akeno fired her massive lightning bolt at Cerberus. She watched in glee as the Cerberus began to disintegrate. Kokobile seemed interested as he watched the display of high-voltage lightning. I see. She's the spawn of Barakiel, he commented. Akeno's ear twitched as she heard the name. She looked towards the figure in the sky and glared maliciously. The moment the Hellhound disappeared, Rias pointed her hand towards Kokobile. Take this. Kokobile. She fired a gigantic mass of demonic power. Icy couldn't help but comment. It's huge, Naruto scowled. But it's not enough. The perverted brunette grew anxious as he watched Kokobile block it with a single hand. Kokobile turned his palm skyward and smiled wickedly as he watched Rias' shot fly into the sky and disappear. He looked at his smoking hand. I see. Rias Gremory's power would grow this much because of the power of the Shippuuryu. Interesting. This is very interesting indeed. He chuckled ominously. It's complete. Valper's voice rang out. The 4 Excaliburs began glowing with an incredible amount of light. Kokobile started to applaud. The 4 Excaliburs are going to become one. Everyone covered their faces as the Excaliburs gave out a divine light. When the light was gone, only 1 Excalibur remained. Valper grinned. Because of the light created by the Excalibur when it turned into one, the spell on the ground is also complete. This town will collapse within 20 minutes. The only way to dispel it is by beating Kokobile. Freed. Kokobile called out. The white-haired priest emerged from the darkness. What's up, boss? Use the Excalibur in the circle. It shall be the last entertainment. Fight while using the Excalibur that was previously for. Fried smiled cruelly as he grabbed the sword. Yeah. Geez. My boss sure uses people recklessly. But. It's like I'm so honored to use the Excalibur-chan that has become super wonderful. Something like that? He snickered. I will just chop some devils now, Zenobia spoke to Kiba. Rias Gremry's knight. If the cooperation is still valid, let us destroy that Excalibur together. Is it okay? Zenobia laughed fearlessly. At worst, it won't be a problem if I collect the fragment of the Excalibur that is acting as the core. Since Fried is wielding it, that holy sword isn't a holy sword anymore. Even though it was once a holy sword, it changes with its wielder like any other sword. It is now a sword of heresy. Valper laughed at their conversation. Kiba looked at him with eyes filled with animosity. Valper Galilei? I am a survivor of the Holy Sword Project. No. I am the one who was killed by you, to be more precise. I have continued living by being reincarnated into a devil. He said it calmly, but he looked eager to cut him down. Valper laughed in a disgusting manner. The survivor of that project. This is such a misfortune. To meet you in a Far East country like this. I feel fate. Thufufu. Naruto glared as the man began explaining his obsession with holy swords and the truth behind the Holy Sword Project. He extracted the holy elements from the bodies of his victims to create artificial holy sword wielders. Kiba filled his presence with malicious intent. You killed my comrades and took out the elements needed to wield the holy swords? He snarled. Valper looked at the orb he had taken out during his monologue. That's right. This orb is from back then. I have used 3 of them on Fried though. This is the last one, Fried cackled. The other guys beside me died because their bodies couldn't synchronize with the elements. If I think like that, that makes me special. Fried looked at Icy. You thought that guys like me would end up being tough, didn't you, Icy-kun? No. I won't die easily like that, Icy glared. Don't read my thoughts, shitty priest. Kiba began to shake. Valper Galilei? How many lives have you sacrificed for your greed and experiments? Valper mused. If you say that, then I will give this orb to you. My research has reached a stage where it's possible to mass-produce them in the right environment. He grinned. First, I will destroy this town with Kokobile. Next, I will gather the legendary holy swords stored around the world. Then I will mass-produce holy sword wielders and start a war against Michael and the Vatican with the combined Excaliburs. I'm going to show the result of my research to those foolish angels and their followers who have convicted me. He threw away the orb as if he lost interest in it. It landed near Kiba. He picked it up and caressed it gently, sadly and lovingly. Everyone. He let out a tear. The orb that Kiba held began giving out shallow lights. The lights started to spread and it eventually covered the whole school field. Lights began to appear from the ground and began to form shapes. They eventually took the form of boys and girls who glowed with blue-white lights, and they surrounded Kiba. The various powers that are present on this battlefield made the spirits within the orbs appear. Akeno said, demonic swords, holy swords, devils, fallen angels and a sage made this happen? Icy mumbled to himself. Naruto gazed sorrowfully at what could only be Kiba's fallen comrades. Everyone. I have always thought about it. Was it alright that I was the only one who survived? There were those who had more dreams than me. There were those who wanted to live more than me. Is it alright that I am the only one to have a peaceful life? Kiba cried. Naruto watched as a little boy's spirit began speaking with Kiba. Naruto tried to read his lips, but the child was speaking in another language he didn't know. Don't worry about us anymore. You are alive at least. That's what they're saying. Akeno said aloud for Icy. Kiba's eyes leaked tears as their feelings reached him. Then the little children began moving their lips in rhythm as if they were singing the sacred song. Asia mumbled. Kiba started to sing along with them as he shed more tears. The spirits' bodies began to glow as Kiba stood in the center. We are no good alone. We didn't have enough elements to wield the holy swords, but it will be okay if we are together. BGM companions, Naruto Shippuden OST 1. Naruto could hear their voices. He felt a warmth pass through his body. He began crying as he felt for his comrades he too lost. He swore he could still feel the traces of their presence. Naruto-kun. Naruto's eyes widened as he spun around. In front of him stood his comrades from his home. The one who spoke was Hinata. Hinata-chan. Everyone. Naruto-kun, we're okay now. You can let go. Yes, Naruto. You now carry a small part of us within you, always. We're always with you. Hinata-sama has said it best. We're fine now. Dying has been so troublesome. I had wanted to become your second when you ruled as Hokage, but seeing you alive is good enough for me. Try to stay alive, you troublesome blonde. Yash. Naruto-kun. You must reignite the flames of your youth. If not, I will run around the field 100 times. Naruto baka. We know you've kept your true feeling kept inside. You gotta man up. The food up here tastes great, Naruto, so don't worry about us going hungry. Naruto, Team 7 lives with you forever. Within Sasuke-kun as well. I would ask you to tell him goodbye for me, but knowing him, he's gotten over it already. It's my turn already? My last impression of you? You are the one of the best shinobi I've ever seen, and I'm proud to have been your sensei, Naruto-kun. Take care of Sasuke for me. Be the brother for him. I could never be. Naruto, my fellow pupil, your task is not done. You can still accomplish your goal, our goal as sibling disciples. Uzumaki Naruto, my friend. You saved me from the darkness and helped me become Kazekage. You forever have my thanks. Now you must free yourself of guilt. Yo. Naruto. You got to let go. Otherwise you'll be your own worst foe. Bakairu, Konohara, Naruto. I still believe in whatever you do. I've never lost faith in you. That's why I sent you away from Madara. I know you'll be great in whatever you do. I should know. I am your father, Naruto. I want you to be happy. Truly happy. I can see through your fake smiles, my son. Shine brightly. With all your heart. And father me plenty of grandbabies, oh ho ho. Naruto, my boy. You've grown up since I last saw you. You even mastered Sannin mode after me. You truly are your sensei's student. I named my sequel, you know. It's not done yet. I already have the title of the book. What do you think of the tale of Uzumaki Naruto? Nah, it's pretty good, isn't it? It's not done yet though. I'll have a feeling I'll be writing it for many years. Oh ho ho. Naruto-kun, you have to move on. I want you to promise me you'll get up and keep moving forward without regret. I can rest easy if you do, because I know you'll keep it. After all, it is our Nindo. Naruto knelt on the ground as wept. He shed tears for his comrades as they left their message for him. He cried more than he had ever cried before. He didn't care who saw him shed tears right now. Stand up. They shouted. You've cried more than enough. Now show us your will of fire. Naruto looked down and sniffled. He gently wiped his tears and stood up. He looked at the faces of his friends. His gaze was fierce. I'm done crying about the past, that I swear to you, he declared resolutely. He watched as his friends faded from view with proud smiles on their faces. As the last person's face disappeared, he caught one last message. I love you, Naruto-kun, and BGM. He turned and glared at Kokobile in unspoken defiance. Kokobile sneered confidently. Naruto turned back towards Kiba as a blinding light flooded everyone's vision. Kiba stood renewed as the light faded. Valper Galilei? As long as I don't kill you, there will those who would suffer the same fate as us. I will take Naruto-kun's resolve and prevent this from reoccurring. Valper looked unperturbed. It's been said for a long time that research always comes with sacrifices. Haven't you realized that yet? He sounded disappointed. I see, shouted towards Kiba. Kiba. Cut down both Freed and Excalibur. You are the knight of the Gremry group and my comrade. My friend. Fight Kiba. Don't waste their feelings and spirit. You have helped me. Even if you don't profit from it. Even if you might have received punishment from our master. Kiba whispered. Yuto. Do it. You have to finish this yourself. Surpass Excalibur. You are the servant of me, Rias Gremry. My knight will not lose to a mere Excalibur. Rias shouted her support. Yuto-kun. I believe in you. Akeno called out to him. Yuto-senpai, please do your best. Kiba. You've overcome your hate. Show me you have the will of fire. Kick their asses? Go. Naruto shouted. Freed gloated over Kiba. Cackling all the while, Kiba put his hand together. I will become a sword. I shall become the sword of Bucho and my comrades. Please respond to my feelings now. Sword rebirth. Kiba's sacred gear mixed with the spirits. Holy power and demonic power combined. What Kiba held in his hand was the perfect combination of holy energy and demonic energy. Balance breaker, sword of the betrayer. You shall receive the power of this sword that has both the power of light and devils with your own body. Kiba declared calmly as he dashed towards Freed. Kiba fainted, but Freed still managed to block Kiba's sword. Kiba observed as the aura surrounding Freed's Excalibur began to become absorbed by his blade. What? That sword surpasses the originator of holy swords. Freed asked in disbelief. Kiba glowered at Excalibur. If that were the true Excalibur, then I couldn't win against it. But that Excalibur cannot cut the feelings of me and my comrades. Freed made several endeavors towards striking Kiba, exploiting the numerous abilities of that Excalibur, but Kiba parried every strike, even after it had turned invisible. Freed's face showed his shocked expression. Yes. Keep him there just like that, Zenobia said while she lifted her right hand into the air. Saint Peter. Saint Basil the Great. Saint Denis. Holy Mother Mary. Please hear my voice. She began to chant. In the names of the saints whom reside within this blade, I will release it. Durandal. She shouted. A large blue blade emerged from a pocket dimension menacingly. Kiba appeared stunned. Naruto gaped as he felt the raw power exude from her blade. That's one hell of a sword, he commented under his breath. A Durandal? Valper shouted. You were not the wielder of the Excalibur. Kokubile couldn't hide his astonishment. Wrong. I was originally the wielder of Durandal. I was also chosen as the holder of the Excalibur. That's all. Zenobia took a stance with Durandal and Excalibur. A two-sword style with the large weapons. Valper appeared affronted. Absurd. According to my research, we haven't reached the stage where someone can wield Durandal, Zenobia scoffed. Of course. Even in the Vatican, they haven't made someone who can wield Durandal artificially. Then why? Zenobia smirked. Unlike those common artificial holy sword wielders like Irina, I'm a natural-born wielder. Zenobia explained Durandal's destructive tendencies. She then challenged Freed. Freed became angry and lashed out with his invisible Excalibur, but a single swing from Zenobia's Durandal shattered his Excalibur and left a gaping hole in the field. So it's just a broken holy sword, huh? It can't even compete with my Durandal. She sighed as if she was bored. Naruto chuckled nervously. Had that up your sleeve the entire time, huh? She gave him a confident look as she smirked. Freed grew frenzied as he lost his intent to kill. Kiba took this chance to strike at Freed. He deflected Freed's last attempt and watched as Excalibur crumbled. He cut down Freed whilst whispering, "Did you see it? Our powers have surpassed Excalibur." Kiba rose and looked to the sky, deep in thought. Valper pointed at Kiba's sword. That sword? Holy demonic sword? Impossible. The polar opposite of two things cannot merge. Kiba trained his blade at Valper's figure. Valper Galilei? Prepare yourself. The old man disregarded him. I see. I understand now. Holy and demonic. It would be explained if the beings that represent the two become unbalanced. Then not only the Mao but the god has also grew. Valper coughed up blood as a javelin of light impaled him. After he fell, Icy proceeded to check him. Icy shook his head. Valper Galilei was dead. Valper. You were remarkable. The reason you went to that conclusion proves that. But I don't mind whether you're with me or now. I could have done it by myself from the beginning. Kokubile sneered. He cackled fearlessly for a moment. He sent out his intense battle aura and smirked confidently at the group. Increase the power of Shippuuryu and transfer it to Uzumaki Naruto. I will show you the difference in our power. He ordered boldly. Naruto strode forwards. I see, charge up just in case. But I'm taking him as is. This bastard's gonna get what's coming to him. Icy nodded. Boost. BGM Shippuden, Naruto Shippuden OST. Naruto shot forward. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. He yelled as two clones flanked him. A penetrating ringing noise wailed as Naruto charged his attack. Futon Raisin Shuriken. His launched his attack towards Kokubile. Kokubile smirked as he raised a palm. Light barrier. Naruto's Raisin Shuriken smashed into his barrier and dispersed. Naruto leaped into the air. Take this. He shouted as he threw a punch towards Kokubile, only to smash into the barrier and bounce back. Naruto glared as he slid onto the ground. Kokubile smirked triumphantly and created several light spears. He launched them with deadly accuracy. Naruto reacted quickly. He performed a standard zigzag maneuver before gracefully sidestepping a spear by mere millimeters. He created 5 clones and had them split up. Kokubile followed his movements with astounding accuracy. Within moments he had dispelled 2 clones and nearly skewered the original. Naruto sped around to Kokubile's backside. He casted several seals. Futon Daitopa. He shouted as he released the tunnel of wind towards the ground. A huge cloud of dust covered the field and hid him from view. Naruto knelt down while inside the dust cloud. I've seen how he does against the stuff he can see. Now let's see how well he can take an unseen attack. He murmured as he created a pair of clones. This beat Pain's ultimate defense. It should do something now. He smirked confidently. Is that all you're good at? Hiding like a coward? Kokubile taunted. Naruto shot from the cloud, twin Raisin Shurikens in his hands. That's the thing, asshole. He launched both attacks towards Kokubile. I'm a shinobi. The fallen angel smirked casually. You think throwing 2 of them will make any difference? Naruto grinned cheekily. Nope. He disappeared in a plume of smoke. Kokubile's eyes widened. Suddenly the area was filled with an even more intense ringing noise. Kokubio glanced behind him to see 2 more Raisin Shurikens heading towards his blind spot. How about 4 then? Kokubio raised his other arm and erected another barrier. Naruto watched as 4 Raisin Shurikens exploded in a light show of chakra. Kokubio couldn't be seen for several moments behind the 4 giant orbs of chakra. When the Raisin Shurikens dispersed, Kokubio remained airborne. He was panting yet was unharmed. Damn, this guy is tough. I'll have to bring them out, Naruto commented under his breath. I haven't tried this yet, but now's as good a time as ever. He bit his thumb and slammed his hand on the ground. Kochio's no jutsu, he shouted. 2 small puffs of smoke revealed 2 old and wizened toads. Shima jumped in surprise. Naruto-chan. It's about time you summoned us, we were worried. Fukusuka looked up at Naruto. Ma, stop bugging him, we're busy. He turned to Kokubio. His opponent is dangerous. Naruto nodded. Sorry Ma, Pa, but we'll talk later. He was able to block 5 of my Raisin Shurikens. It doesn't seem like punching will do anything either. He paused before he shrugged his scroll off of his shoulders. He unfurled it, and reverse summoned a spare clone. After dispelling the clone, and sighing in relief as he felt his chakra stores replenish, he reholstered the scroll. Ho! He is a tough one after all. Very well. Ma, we'll start with that jutsu. Fukusuku and Shima hopped onto Naruto's shoulders. Boost, let's go. Naruto made 2 more clones. They each charged a giant Rasengan. They rocketed towards Kokubio. Senpo Cho Urama Rasengan. Once again his attack was blocked by the barrier Kokubio had erected. Kokubio, who had regained his composure, smirked as the 2 clones dispersed. Naruto burst out from the smoke with Ma and Pa on his shoulders. A feint. Kokubio noted. Ma and Pa opened their mouths. Senpo Kawazanaki. They shouted as they launched their sound attack, only for it too to be blocked by the barrier. Kokubio grinned cockily. You think I wouldn't account for the illusions of senjutsu? How naive. Naruto dropped back to the ground and glared. He shrugged his shoulders and took off the large scroll hindering his movements. He tossed it to Fukusuku, only to grit his teeth in frustration as a spear of light pierced it. The scroll was incinerated within seconds. Fufufu. Oops. Was that important? Kokubio sneered. Is this all you got? Naruto frowned. His last clone was all the way back at his apartment, and at this distance, the nature chakra would disperse back into the air. Seeing no point in keeping the clone on standby, he dispelled it irritably. Shima frowned. We're sorry, Naruto-chan. Against an opponent like this, I'm afraid we're useless. It would take too long to use the Magen Gamma Rinsho. She apologized. I'm afraid you'll have to find another way. Fukusuku snorted. Too long and too irritating to harmonize, my boy. Naruto shook his head. No, you've done enough. Go back now. I don't want you to be in the middle, it could get explosive. Shima and Fukusuku nodded and puffed up in a cloud of smoke. Boost, and BGM. Naruto clenched his teeth. How is this asshole able to block my senjutsu? Even Obito couldn't do that. Kokubio smirked. Are you wondering perhaps how I am unaffected by your otherwise very impressive senjutsu attacks? The answer is simple. Galilei saw footage of your battle with my pawn Gungar. He then quickly deduced your approximate power and advised me on the exact level my barrier needed to be to block all your attacks. He truly was brilliant. Kokubio began to cackle. Do you see the futility of your struggle? I enjoy watching you fight for masters that no longer exist. What do you mean? Rias inquired with doubt. Kokubio's smirk widened. Ah, I forgot. You lower guys don't know the truth. Then I will tell you. In the war between the 3 sides, not only the Yandaimao but also God died. Everyone other than Naruto froze. BGM tragic, Naruto Shippuden OST 1. It's normal for you guys to not know about it. Who can say that God has died? Humans are an incomplete bunch. Without God, they cannot control their hearts and obey the laws, you know? Even us, the fallen angels and devils, couldn't tell this to those below us. You won't know where the information about God will be leaked from. Even among the 3 powers, only the people at the top and certain people know about it. Though it seems Valper noticed it earlier, he then explained about the aftermath of the war for all sides, never losing his smirk. Lies. It's a lie. You're lying. Zenobia cried as she rushed towards Kokubio. Zenobia, wait. Naruto shouted. Kokubio smirked as Zenobia leaped towards him. He released his barrier as she approached. He moved out of the way of Durandal and gripped Zenobia's throat sharply. You should know your place, girl. Respect your betters. He sneered as he revealed 10 raven black wings. He then sharpened his wings and slashed Zenobia's body all over. When he had his pleasure, he discarded her, back to the ground at a dangerous rate. Kiba quickly caught her, then brought her to the rest of the group. Boost. Naruto glared at the fallen angel. Kokubyo retracted his wings. Now where was I? Ah yes. The truth of the matter is, there won't be another big war, unless you did it on purpose. All three sides went through hell in the past war. Everyone decided it was meaningless if the start of it all, God and the Mao, were dead. Even that bastard Azazel stated, there is no second war after losing his men. I can't do it. I just can't do it. To lower your gun once one already shot it. Don't fuck around. Don't fuck around. If we had continued from there, we would have won. Even so, that bastard. Is there any value in fallen angels who can only live by inviting humans who possess sacred gears? He shouted angrily. Asia's eyes widened as she covered her mouth. She began to shake. God doesn't exist? God is dead? Then the love we were given by him is. Kokubyo laughed. That's right. It's normal there's no love from God and no divine protection from him. God is already gone. Michael is certainly doing well. He's taking the place of God and is taking care of the angels and humans. Well, if the system used by God is operating, then the prayer to God, the blessing to God, and exorcism would function. But if you compare it to the time when God was present, the number of believers decreased. That holy demonic sword brat over there was able to create that sword because the balance between God and Mao broke. In reality, holy and demonic powers cannot merge. If the ones who rule the power of holy and demonic powers, God and the Mao, disappear, then lots of unique phenomena occur. Asia collapsed to the floor, but was caught by IC. Asia. Pull yourself together, Asia. And BGM. Kokubyo raised his fist into the air. From here on out, I will start a war. I will take your heads as a gift. Even if it's only me, I will continue from where we left off. I'm going to show Sir Zex and Michael that we, the fallen angels, are the ultimate beings. Naruto began to chuckle. So you're just another jackass with a god complex? Kokubyo glared at Naruto. You take me for a joke? Naruto shook his head. No, I just find it funny how I'm always fighting against guys with god complexes. He stared into Kokubyo's eyes. Get ready. I'm about to kick your ass harder than you've ever gotten it kicked. I'll show you what I did to the last guy who had a god complex. Kokubyo sneered at Naruto. And what exactly can you do? Unless you forgot, your senjutsu is all but useless against me. Give up now and I might spare your life. All you bad guys ever want is for me to give up. When will you learn that I'm not the giving up type? Not as long as I got my comrades standing beside me and supporting me. Give up trying to make me give up. Naruto declared. Boost. Maximum charge. Now I see. Right. Gift. Transfer. BGM my name, Naruto Shippuden OST. All of ISE's power flowed into Naruto. Immediately Naruto was covered in demonic aura. Naruto scowled at Kokubyo with amethyst cross-slitted eyes. Senjutsu Akuma no Han. Naruto crouched and gave a grunt. Rias group gaped as Naruto sprouted a set of devil wings from his back. He flapped his wings and instantly took flight. Tajukage Bunshin no Jutsu. He shouted. The sky was filled with Narutos paired up with each other. They each created a large purple Rasengan. Akuma no Senpo Cho Udama Rasen Terengan. They all thundered. Icy couldn't help but yell in surprise. Holy fuck. Kokubyo's eyes widened. Impossible. That much power. He put two hands in front of him. Double light barrier. He doubled his barrier, but it was like paper against Naruto's assault. Naruto broke through Kokubyo's barrier, and the fallen angel was barraged by hundreds of gargantuan Rasengans. Yuea. Kokubyo cried as he was sent barreling towards the earth. He crashed into the ground with a resounding boom. Naruto slowly lowered his elevation until he was on the ground, panting. Shit. I'm almost out of juice. Kokubyo broke from the rubble. His clothes in tatters and looking worse for wear. I refuse. I refuse to be beaten. By some fucking human. He roared as he charged his ultimate attack. His wings were unleashed in his fury. Countless spears of light began materializing. More. More. He bellowed as even more spears appeared. Naruto breathed deeply. Kurama. Sorry about this, but I gonna have to use your chakra for this, while I'm still in Sannin mode. He apologized. Kurama stirred from his slumber. You can't do anything without me, can you, Naruto? Naruto grinned sheepishly. Shut it, you overgrown furball. He then scowled. Ready for this, partner? Kurama chuckled. I was just hoping for a break anyways. Let's get wild. BGM change heaven shaking event, Naruto Shippuden OST 1. Naruto glared at Kokubyo. Bijou mode Akuma no Han. He was swiftly engulfed in a purple flame as he entered his tailed beast mode. The flames that covered him formed a long Haoria top of his jumpsuit, and his seal was easily visible. The group of devils hitched their breath. Naruto held out both hands in a cupping fashion. Kurama, you balance the black and white chakra, I've got the shell. Humph. What do you take me for? That's easy. Just be careful, we've got 45 seconds. Kurama warned. Naruto smirked. Plenty of time. Black and white particles began to gather within his hands. They slowly merged until they were perfectly mixed into a dark, menacing orb. Kokubil glared as he finished conjuring spears. You're too late. Light dash. Naruto flashed in front of him at near god speeds. No, you're too slow. He shouted. Akuma no Senpo Cho Mini Bijidama. He shoved the condensed ball of destruction into Kokubil's gut. The fallen angel gave a silent scream as the attack began to burn into him. His spears shattered into minuscule lights as he was launched across the field. He crashed and another pile of debris surrounded him. Kokubil lay motionless with a large gaping hole in his abdomen. Naruto glanced sadly at the fallen form before he collapsed onto the floor face first. His chakra cloak and devil's wings vanished without a trace. That was disappointing. Next time you disturb me, make sure the opponent is strong. Take care not to die, Naruto. Yeah? I got it. Sorry to bug you, oh great Kurama-sama. And BGM. Naruto's new comrades rushed to his side, all save for Zenobia, who remained motionless. Rias, who had led the group, grabbed him and turned him face up. Naruto was breathing deeply and slowly. He opened his eyes and looked at Rias. I kicked his ass. He coughed. Everyone laughed lightly as Naruto slowly regained his strength. I haven't felt this tired since that time with Erosenin. I don't want to do that again for a long while. He mumbled to himself. Fufufu. Interesting. To think a human could beat Kokubil. A voice sounded from above. Naruto groaned. If you're here to fight, can you save it for next week? I'm tired as fuck. Everyone looked up to see an imposing figure clad in white releasing a terrifying aura. The figure descended rapidly and hovered over Kokubil's corpse. He ruthlessly ripped out several feathers. Ah, Kokubil. Your wing is like the wing of a crow. It has a disgusting color to it. Azazel's wing is much darker and has the color of everlasting darkness, you know. Honestly, it's good riddance. He commented as Ho tossed the black feathers away. Rias looked at the youth in shock. You are the Vanishing Dragon. He turned towards the group. My name is Albion. Everyone able to fight, ready to stance. He seemed bored as he glanced at them. There's no need for that. I haven't come here to battle with the Devil Clan of Gremory. I came here to retrieve what's ours. I suppose it's unfortunate for me not to be able to battle Kokubil myself, but I find this situation much more satisfying. Uzumaki Naruto. Although Kokubil is nothing compared to me, you have my respects nonetheless on your victory over him. He praised. He grabbed the dead fallen angel and moved to grab a surprisingly still alive Freed. I'll be taking this trash. We still need to ask him questions. The white youth began leaving. Are you ignoring me, huh, white one? Drake's voice sounded out from ISE's gauntlet. Albion's armor jewel began to glow white. So you were awake, red one. We finally met, but in a situation like this. Drake commented. It's alright. It's our destiny to fight one day. Things like this happen, but white one. I can't feel the hostility from you like before, red one. Your hostility is incredibly low as well. Looks like both of us have things that interest us more than fighting. That's how it is. We should be having fun by ourselves for a while. It's not bad like this sometimes, right? Let's meet again, Drake. That would also be fun, huh? See you then. Albion. After their conversation ended, IC stepped up. Hey. What's the meaning of this? Who are you and what are you doing? Because of that Kokubil asshole, my sleep with a naked Bucho was interrupted. Everyone's sweat dropped at ISE's excuse. The youth spoke to ISE. You need strength to understand everything. Get stronger, my rival-kun. I will fight you one day. With that, he turned into a white light and flew up. That guy was a pansy. Naruto commented, slightly stronger than several moments ago. Everyone turned to Naruto. Huh. Was the collective response. Although Kokubil is nothing compared to me. You have my respects nonetheless. What a load of bull. Naruto grinned. I could take him. Everyone laughed once again. Naruto pulled himself into a relaxed sitting position. Rias stared in wonder. How are you doing that? You were almost out cold not even 3 minutes ago. Naruto shrugged. I've been told my clan has a really strong healing factor and longevity. Rias shook her head in disbelief. What was that power you used? You gained devil wings for several minutes. Naruto smirked. I remembered when I used holy energy in my fight against Zenobia. So I figured if I was in Sannin mode and IC flooded me with devil energy, I would also be able to use devil energy. Good thing it worked too. 'Cause one shot was all I had left. And the flames at the end? What were those? Naruto smiled sheepishly. Well, I told you I was a Jinchuriki. Jinchuriki? Power of the human sacrifice? What are those? Icy cut in. Naruto scratched his cheek. Well, back in my world there was once a terrible entity called the Jubi. A single man, the father of all ninjutsu who we called the Rikuta Sennin, fought the Jubi and sealed the chakra inside of him. He used a technique called the Chibaku Tensei to create the moon and seal the body of the Jubi into it. He had everyone's rapt attention. Decades later, when the Rikuta Sennin was near death, he split the Jubi's power into 9 separate beings. He created the Biju, ranging from the Ichibi no Tanuki to the Kyubi no Kitsune. Years later, we eventually found out how to seal the Bijus into human, thus creating Jinchuriki. More or less, honestly it's too complicated for me to care. He explained. Rias nodded in understanding. I see. You said you housed the Nine Tails, correct? Similar to Ise's Welsh dragon? Naruto nodded. More or less. He lifted his shirt and channeled a bit of chakra. His seal appeared on his navel. This is my seal, I see. It's what keeps Kurama safe inside me. Rias studied his seal for a moment. Such an advanced seal. Beelzebub-sama would enjoy studying it. Icy whistled. No wonder you're so strong. Naruto shook his head. Nah, I worked my ass off for this power and almost died half a dozen times. I got no doubt you'll be at least this strong too, Icy. Just gotta work hard and train your ass off. Now can Asia please heal me? I think I got a concussion from the recoil. Whoa. Spinning colors. Asia quickly got to work on Naruto. Kiba started to reflect upon himself before Icy knocked him in the head. Kiba turned and saw him smiling. You did it, Casanova. He praised. Icy stared at Kiba's holy demonic sword with interest. So that's a holy demonic sword. It looks beautiful since the white and black thing is mixed. He complimented. Icy-kun, Kiba started but Icy cut him off. Well, let's skip the complicated stuff for now. Anyways, we can say that it ended for now, right? Also the thing about your comrades. Kiba nodded. Yeah. Asia looked up from where she continued to work on a loopy Naruto. Kiba-san. We can do club activities together again, yes? Kiba was about to respond when Rias called him. Yuto. She greeted with a smile. Yuto. I'm glad you returned. Also to reach Balance Breaker. I am proud, Bucho. To everyone in the club. Most of all, I betrayed you who saved my life once. I can't find the words to express my apology. Rias' hand patted his cheek comfortingly. Ish alright. We all love you. Naruto commented deliriously. Unknown to everyone else, Kurama accelerated his healing rate and added a pain-killing euphoric ride for Naruto. Hence, Naruto high off of morphine. Rias giggled. He's right. We all care for you. In the end you returned, did you not? That is enough. You can't waste the feelings of your comrades. Kiba looked into her eyes with confidence. Bucho. I will promise you once again. I, Kiba Yuto, will protect you and my comrades for the rest of my life as the knight of Rias Gremry's group. Rias laughed cutely. Ufufa. Thank you? But you can't say that in front of Icy, okay? Kiba turned and saw Icy glaring at him in jealousy. I also want to protect Bucho by becoming a knight. But there isn't anyone who can become Bucho's knight other than you. He complained. His face then became shy. So take responsibility, and finish that task. Kiba nodded. Yeah. I know, Icy-kun, haha. Kiba got pregnant. Take responsibility. You know what I mean. Naruto continued to babble as Asia worked hard to fix him. Only a few more minutes, Naruto-san. Now Yuto. Rias said while covering her hand in red aura. It's a punishment for acting by yourself. 1,000 spanks. The color faded from Kiba's face. 30 minutes later, the reinforcements came. Naruto was peacefully resting by then, and Kiba couldn't stand straight, but the first battle for peace had ended. Thanks for watching. I hope you had as much fun as I did putting this epic what if together. If you're ready for part 3 and beyond, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a single twist in the story. Drop your thoughts, theories, or even wild ideas in the comments. I read every single one. And hey, if you're craving more awesome Naruto content, go check out the other videos on the channel. I've got plenty of heat waiting for you. Until next time, stay sharp, stay awesome, and remember, even a shadow clone needs love. Peace out.